Welcome to Obi-Wan Studios. Today's review is on the 7930 Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship. This set is based on the Clone Wars Season 2 Episode 17 Bounty Hunters, and it's one of those sets that I'm kind of surprised that it even ever got made. The ship is on screen for around 10 seconds of time and it's only ever shown in the barn hangar, but hey, it makes for a really unique Clone Wars era set. The Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship released January of 2011 for $50 and retired at the end of 2012. Today, sealed in the box, you're looking at spending around $170 according to Brick Economy. This set contains 389 pieces and a total of 4 minifigures, if you count droids as minifigs that is. We have Suji, an assassin droid, Embo, and Aura Singh. All 3 named characters are exclusive to the set, making the minifigs the real draw when it comes to the Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship. Alright, it is time to unseal this set. As always, if you appreciate me unsealing sets for the reviews, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Inside the box, we have the instructions manual, which for me was bent right in half, 1 sticker sheet, and 3 numbered bags. After putting the instructions under some heavy objects overnight, it did fold out enough to use for the build. Taking a look at our minifigures first, our first minifig is Suji. She is the leader of the bounty hunters in the episode, and I think they did her character pretty well. There is a lot of detail to her face print on both the front and back, just overall the printing looks very sharp. I do think she would have looked really good with the Zabrak horn piece, which was created in 2011, just to really showcase what species she is. Her body print is pretty good as well, however the skin tone color matching is pretty bad in my opinion on the body print. Suji is also the only minifig to not have waist or leg printing, so she does look a bit bare in comparison. Overall, I'd say she is good, not great. Next up we have an assassin droid. This one definitely feels like a throw-in to me for this set. It isn't a character or droid that is part of the episode, but hey, we have a typical assassin droid, not much to say about this one, it's just pretty forgettable. Next is Embo, and man, I just love this minifig. The printed disc piece for his helmet looks so good, and it certainly was a detail they needed to get right when creating him. His shoulder pauldron piece adds in a lot of detail as well, and just blends right in with the black color of his armor printing. The printing on Embo, it's just fantastic everywhere. The head print on the front was absolutely nailed, and he also has some back printing on his head just for that little bit of extra detail. Speaking of printing, his armor print is just very accurate to his appearance in the Clone Wars, and the addition of waist and leg printing really just brings it home here. The leg printing detail I think on Embo is truly exceptional. One concern with him that I do have is his waist piece. Since it is that dark red color, it is super stiff. To pose his body straight for these shots was a bit sketchy to say the least, but hey, I got the shots and was able to make the review for you guys. Embo is just a real fantastic minifig and the clear highlight in this set in my opinion. Aura Singh is our final minifig and quite an interesting addition when it comes to this set. While she isn't part of the episode Bounty Hunters that this set is based on, if they never included her in here, we probably never would have gotten her as a minifig, so honestly, I'm totally cool with it. She is a very striking minifig with the pale skin and then the bright orange clothing. You won't miss her being in someone's collection, that's for sure. Her face print I think looks really great in combination with that hair piece, and she has no detail that would require any printing on the back of her head, so no back head printing here is totally fine. Her body print I think looks really great. She also gets waist and leg printing just to make her appearance more detailed and accurate. Overall, she's another great minifig in this set, and I'd say a close second behind Embo. Looking at the minifigs overall, I do think they are pretty great. The assassin droid, however, should just not be in this set at all, and I would have loved a different minifig like Obi-Wan or Hondo to round out the characters from the episode, or maybe Ahsoka or Padme to go with Aura Singh, or hey, even Cad Bane just to add in another prominent bounty hunter. But with that said, the minifig selection in this set overall really doesn't disappoint, and the minifigs alone really make this set a must-have for any Clone Wars fan. Moving on to the Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship build now, and I honestly didn't expect to love this build as much as I do. I really have to give the designers credit here for making this ship at all, as it had such a small appearance in the Clone Wars. It was one that they could have easily passed on, but having it built in front of me, I really do appreciate the fact that this set exists. One of my favorite parts about this set is the color of it. The green and yellow looks so good together, and it's a nice break from the more traditional color schemes of LEGO Star Wars. In a collection, this is one that is sure to stand out because of the really stunning color contrast of the build. Getting into the details, starting off with the cockpit, at the front we have two twin cannons, which is accurate to what we see in the Clone Wars episode. There is a sticker on the left side of the cockpit, which adds in some nice detail and a pop of light pink color. The green matching between the pieces and the sticker is really good as well. It blends in very nicely. There is a large clear windshield piece for the characters to look out of, and then you have 3 more stickers on top of the cockpit. These stickers are a bit of a pain as you have to try and line them up as best as you can, and there just is going to be gaps the way the stickers are designed. This piece would have just been a lot better if it was printed, looked just a lot more solid, but the stickers do add in the colors and the detail you would want, just not as perfectly as a printed piece would have done. The cockpit is accessible 2 different ways. The side panels are on Technic hinges and can open up, but they do tend to break, I found, as they are not super strong pieces. You can also tilt up the top of the cockpit for the most access with the side panels open as well. There is space for Sugi to pilot the ship with some red translucent studs and a sticker for a control panel for the interior detailing. On the underside of the roof of the cockpit, there is room for some weapons storage, and this piece does come out to make it easier to place blasters inside the weapons holder. When it comes to the bottom of the cockpit, we have a separate section for a prisoner cell. The back hatch lifts up to reveal the bars and the inside of the cell. You can place one minifig in there, a little bit cramped, but hey, when the bounty hunters bring you in, they don't care if you are comfortable. Just behind the cockpit, there is another nice sticker to add in some more detail, which is actually the top of a crate to store some treasure, which just pulls right out and then you can access it. Moving on to the midsection of the ship, the shaping of the wings and engines I think just looks very good. I think the engines, wings, and the cockpit are all scaled rather nicely when you compare it to the ship in the episode. The larger yellow pieces on the wings and engines just really add such a nice pop of color in my opinion. On the top of the midsection there is another twin cannon that does tilt forward and back for some extra play features. The intakes of the engines are done with these fin pieces, which do a passable job of representing the look of them from what we see in the episode. These fins can be a bit of a pain to position properly so that it looks good though, and that blue Technic piece in the center I just don't think looks that great. The blue just doesn't go with any of the other colors in the build. On the middle of the engines there are some larger stickers, and these do look really good and certainly help make the engines not look so plain. The back of the engines look pretty sleek as well. The cone pieces bring them to a point with an orange stud in the center. I just really like the way the back of the engines look. The rear of the ship is very simple. This longer section just extends out and it has some translucent red pieces on the end which kind of look like taillights. But when it comes to play features, this build does have a party piece. If you slide the top of the back section forward, both engines rotate into the flying position, and then you're ready to swoosh this thing around. It's a really great system that is integrated just super neatly into the design of the ship. It's definitely something I didn't expect to love as much as I do when it comes to this build. It's just a really great play feature. Now, as awesome as this play feature is, as far as I can tell, it's actually not accurate to the ship in universe. When we see the ship in the barn, it's actually landed on landing gear just underneath the cockpit with the engines horizontal. However, it still makes for a really awesome play feature in my opinion, especially with how seamlessly it is integrated into the build. But for display purposes, it just would have been cool to have gotten landing gear to be able to actually display the ship like we see it in the barn during the episode, just for accuracy's sake. Taking a look at this set overall, I do think it's a very underrated Clone Wars set, and it's still, relatively speaking, affordable compared to a lot of the other Clone Wars era sets. You have 3 pretty great and exclusive minifigs, which right there makes this set certainly one that any serious Clone Wars fan should have. Plus, the build is really good. I think the color scheme is awesome, and the play features are just very thoughtfully designed. Thank you for watching my review on the 7930 Bounty Hunter Assault Gunship. If you enjoyed the review, please leave a like and let me know your thoughts on this set in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out my YouTube channel for lots more reviews from the Clone Wars era. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you on the next LEGO Star Wars review.